But I'm going to save that for a night when I have more time, because frankly, trying to do this in between shifts is a little hectic and crazy. So maybe next week on Saturday we'll do the deck and the playing video for the latest. Well, not the latest Harry Potter box we opened, because that got turned into turmoil as well, because we actually had some base set that we opened. Thank
That
you
was a nice
for
surprise.
anyone who's stopped in so far. It was a nice surprise. We did get some nice pulls out of it too, including some that might actually go into the deck that I just built for Diagon Alley, except I want to try it as a Diagon Alley only deck first. You know, all these balancing factors. In addition to that, it's also the evening of May the 3rd. Hey-o, Tank.
Hey, Tank.
And off and on May the 4th, you get a whole lot of Star Wars content. So I'm going to talk about my plans for Star Wars for this year, which isn't a lot. Obviously, we did some Star Wars Unlimited with Thomas.
Yep.
At the beginning of the year, basically, just following
Hey,
Christmas.
Ryan.
But what I used to play was the Star Wars Decipher Star Wars collectible card game. This was very popular back in the late 90s. It was the primary rival for Magic the Gathering for popularity of card sales in shops. It actually came out ahead 1 or 2 months.
Hey, Broly, how you doing?
From with regard to sales in the Scry magazine at one point. It lasted from 2005. Sorry, from 1995
Yay!
through to 2001 before they lost
Say hi
the
to
license. Hey, Broly, thanks for coming.
And Ryan, I think you missed Ryan.
This is, so yeah, like I said, it's going to be a bit of an odd one.
Mm.
So, like I said, I'm not going to be doing this weekend.
Gotta change the title.
I'm going to wait until, since
appreciate you, Broly.
The game released in 1995. It released with...
I'm just eating my supper.
The premiere. And there was limited edition, which is black bordered, and unlimited edition, which is white bordered. So last year I managed to get my hand on a pair of limited edition starter decks. These decks are 60 cards. You make a 60 card plan.
Broly, thank you so much. You just gifted us 10 memberships.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. That's great.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Appreciate that. Everybody say thank you to Broly. You know what it is? I bribed him with his new wiglet.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's the wiglet.
Who knows? Could be.
The bribery works. I got to give more wiglets.
So yeah, each of these decks is 60 cards. It's got one rare, I think about 10 or 12 uncommons. I forget exactly.
Hey,
the rest is commons, and they're split evenly between light side and dark side cards. You're supposed to build a 60 card deck, and a lot of the cards in this instance interrupts that aren't the best. You really want the main characters in this game. They're the high value rares, and they didn't make versions of them at lower rarities in this initial release. So, actually, that was a common theme for most of Star Wars. Usually, the easiest way to get the main characters, if you weren't hunting rares, was to wait for introductory products that came with promo cards. So I've got one here from Cloud City, which has IG-88 with Riot Gun, which is a card I never picked up back, when I was playing frequently. And it's got 4 Cloud City packs in it. So my plan is to probably run this with Thomas, or maybe someone else, but basically each of us will get a limited edition black bordered starter deck, the original version of the game that was released in 1995. We'll supplement them each with a pack of Jabba's Palace so that we can do a little selection, thin out some of the less playable cards, and 2 packs each of Cloud City. Or maybe just 2 packs and we'll go some combination. You can pick either 2 Cloud City or 1 in a Jabba's Palace. I haven't decided if exactly 2 or 3 booster packs each to go with the starter decks. Open them up, see who gets the better pulls. Whoever gets the better pulls gets to decide if they're going to play light side or dark side. And then they take all the light side or dark side cards from both decks to build their deck, and the other person gets the other side to build their cards from that deck.
Broly just has a question. Today we were at 100 and Trying to think. Was it 55? I didn't tell you. 55. I think 155.
Yeah, something like that. So we're seesawing topics a bit. But yeah, so this is going to be my plan. I'm going to wait till closer to the anniversary. So it'll be the 30th anniversary of the release date of the Star Wars collectible card game.
Close.
We'll do this as a large-ish stream where we do a big opening with these and some packs and
I can double check.
see what we get and then build decks out of them. And so I'm anxious to find... I think it was in December. It was late in the year anyway. I know you're not looking that up. You're looking something else up.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Oh, 46. 146.
And I just lost my train of thought again.
Sorry.
Anyway. So, that'll be our big Star Wars anniversary. We've already done a game where we played with the Death Star 2 starter decks. And those are fun too. I like this product as an introductory to the game. They are getting a little harder to find now, but I still have a few here in reserve. And yeah, actually 1995, 30 years ago, was a big year in the collectible card game industry. It was also the release of For Magic the Gathering 4th edition and Ice Age, so we might do an Ice Age celebration stream on that as well. And Homelands, the first set that I ever collected. So I already did a Homeland stream, but maybe we'll do a refresh on that and take a bit of a different, closer look at that one.
Who's Mick Foley?
Mick Foley.
I don't know if this person thinks you look like Mick Foley or...
I have no idea.
Some wrestler?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Something to Google later.
Maybe. So yeah. So happy May the 4th if you don't get to this till tomorrow. But that's my plans for Star Wars collectible card game, which I'm going to do a little later this year. We'll do a big stream. We'll open up the 2 decks and a few packs each. See who gets the better hits. Build a deck for the light side, build a deck for the dark side, try playing them against each other. And this will mimic a little bit like how it was getting started way back in the day, because I'm not digging into my substantial card pool. It's just what we pull from a starter and a couple packs. When I first started, I got a starter deck, and I think New Hope was the other set that was out at the time. So I had a New Hope pack or 2 and a starter deck, and I had almost enough to make decks. I had to supplement with a little bit from the commons bin. But in that first packs, I remember for spaceships, I had 3 for the light side, 3 for the dark side. And I think for the dark side, I had an Imperial class Star Destroyer. Was the biggest one, and then I had like a TIE Fighter and a TIE Vanguard, or was it a TIE? No, I think it was a TIE Fighter and a TIE Vanguard. And then for the dark side, or for the light side, I had like an X-wing, a Y-wing, and a red one, which was a unique X-wing which you could put your own pilots on. So a little bit different, but yeah, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed playing this with my brother and a few other friends who played. So that'll be our plan to look at that in the future.
This is really yummy.
I think that's in the fall sometime. So anyway, so I pulled these from my little pile of Decipher packs that I've got sealed here, and I'm expanding my collection of sealed booster packs from old games with some of the stuff in the mail. So
I didn't open it at all.
Great. So this has got a variety of stuff in it. Some of it's Harry Potter related, some of it's Star Trek related, some of it's other
things. Can I give
things.
them my yummy supper idea?
If you like.
All right. I don't know at your Costco's if you guys get those chimichangas, but in the freezer section. What's the brand again? I don't know. Anyways, they're frozen chimichangas. If you do a baked potato and then cut it in half and put butter and then some cheese and then cook one of those chimichangas and then break it up on top of a half-baked potato. So yummy. Anyways, that's my supper idea for the day.
Did I show this with her? Oh, you already blocked it.
I blocked it out.
Okay. Why does this not want to open? Did I?
You probably have to cut it down.
I thought I did, but I probably cut the wrong one. Anyway.
What is I like to hear people's favorite supper ideas, things to change up. if you guys get anything from like a grocery store or something like that, and you want to make it taste a little bit better, what do you guys do? Because I'm always open to ideas.
Spice rack.
Like if we get a frozen pizza, we usually add. Well, sometimes we add some toppings if it's not for the kids, and extra cheese.
All right, so this is our packing list, which I'll have to go through and confirm
Did I?
later.
Oh, did I not? I wonder if I didn't put this on. I didn't put this on all messages. There we go.
Wow, this is in bundles. 1 bundle, 2 bundle.
Oh, we did get
More bundles. All right, so while we're on Star Wars, let's start with this. Decipher actually came out with, while they had the license for Star Wars back in the late 90s, up to 2001. It made 3 different games that used the Star Wars license. And when Episode 1 released, that was a really hype thing that did a lot. There was a lot in terms of merchandising. A lot of excitement around it because you had the creator of Star Wars coming back to do more episodes after the fame of the first original 3. And there was a lot of excitement when Episode 1 was hitting. And so they made an entire card game, Young Jedi, around the Episode 1 universe, basically. This was the first set, as I recall. And Young Jedi, the third game they had didn't last so well. I think, I'm trying to remember what the name of it now.
Mommy.
Yeah?
But
It's bedtime, eh?
the Young Jedi was actually arguably their fourth. There's the big 3 games that Decipher had great success with.
Okay.
Star Wars CCG was one, Star Trek CCG was another, and then Lord of the Rings TCG once those films started coming out. Basically, the same year they lost the license for Star Wars, they gained license to do a game for Lord of the Rings, and the Lord of the Rings one really took off and helped them recover from the blow to their company of losing the Star Wars franchise. But Young Jedi was up there as well. Young Jedi was the only other game that they, besides the big 3, that they actually had enough success with and enough, I guess, product to move that they did a Reflections set for. But this was the first set. So you see at the back, you got Young Jedi points by saving the wrappers. And it also says that specifically special refractor foil playing cards and approximately 1 in every 99 cards. And each pack contains 11 cards. So basically 1 in every 9 packs, on average, statistically, you might find a foil. I didn't order 9 packs because I was mistaken on my... I didn't actually read that before. I ordered 7 because for some reason I thought it was 1 in 7, which is probably closer to what it was for foils in Lord of the Rings games. I think it was 1 in 6 for those. In any case, so I've got 7 of these, and one of these days, I know Thomas is more a fan of the Clone Troopers and such, so I'll probably let him take part in this one. I think he'll have fun opening these. Can you I don't know that person.
We're not really ready to raid right now. Anyways.
No, we're not. So, what else did we get here? I also picked up a few packs of a later card game. And I'll go over more details about it, but Versus System, which when it first came out had licenses for both DC and Marvel characters. So the first sets that came out were DC Origins. So DC Origins featured the Batman series and the Batman villains and all those. And I'll do a deeper dive into this when we're ready to actually go through them. Marvel Origins was the more popular set because its origin set featured cards from X-Men and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, their usual rivals, as well as the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom.
Ryan has a
So
Street Fighter.
it had 4 teams. They both had 4 teams, but all 4 from the Marvel one were more popular. And nice. I heard about the Street Fighter game, I think, but I don't know much about it, to be honest. Spider-Man was a set that came out shortly thereafter and featured Spider-Man and their villains. And was another fairly popular set. And then I got a couple of ones from later sets that came out down the line. So a pack of Marvel Knights and a pack of Infinity Crisis from DC Infinity Crisis, which is not at all the same as the Marvel Infinity Crisis storyline, which they built a whole movie franchise around. But anyways, this is all pre-MCU stuff based off the comics. And the game itself was actually a lot of fun. The Versus System trading card game took a lot of the ideas from existing card games and improved them and found ways to make it run more smoothly. So while you did have locations, you didn't have to have locations. You could put any card down as a resource, and then if it was a plot twist, you could flip it and still use it. If it was a location, that's sort of the way it had to be played, but you could still play it out as a resource and use it. Or if you just had a character, there were some characters that were reservists that could be played from the resource row, and others that could not, but whatever. So we got that. So some Young Jedi and some Versus System. I did pick up a pack just so I'd have a sealed one that after I opened the box, I just wanted to have a random sealed loose booster of Quidditch Cup. It's tempting to kind of open it because there are, if this happened to have McGonagall in it, I wouldn't. I'd love to have one to play with. Or if it happened to have, what was the other card from this I was looking for? There's a couple of other cards that I'd love to play with from Quidditch Cup that just I'd love to not have to pull the card out of my set. But basically, just for a sort of selection of old game sealed packs, that's why I picked up that one. Probably for the Versus System, I'll save one of those sealed as well. Probably one of the Spider-Man packs, and just open the other 4. I also ordered a few singles before I realized that base set was something we were going to get the chance to open. I saw they had a few singles online of cards that I thought would be useful for decks. So most of these we already opened. But Professor Phileas Flitwick there, who is the Charms Professor from Ravenclaw. And his ability is similar to Abbott's, but a little bit more restrictive. But he does provide you with a Charms lesson, so that's nice.
What are most of these cards from? What was the
Sorry?
What was the reason for getting all these different packs again?
Because I plan on doing videos with you for the different games in the future. For the most part.
I'm sorry.
And also to have a few random packs.
I'm trying to add tags to the video. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Well, future plans for videos on old games, basically. So I picked up a Flitwick. I picked up a Hagrid, which again, both of those two we opened in our video opening. But again, if you're planning a dedicated Care of Magical Creatures deck, Hagrid could be great to have for playing in that as well. Picked up another Steel Claw because I only had 3 before we opened a whole box. So now we've got lots of extras, but this was going to be my 4th copy. And I did pick up a Professor Severus Snape, which we did not open in the box of base set Harry Potter TCG. So I'm glad that this at least was still a good purchase for something we didn't have. So as you can see, he's the professor for potions, Slytherin House, and he's also a healing character. So once per game, shuffle up to 7 non-healing cards from your discard pile into your deck. And that's a useful ability, basically. Basically heals 7 damage you took during the game. You even have a bit of selection option there, I believe, as to which ones you pull. And he provides potions, so he also has, built-in potions lesson, so to speak. And see if I can the light is at a really bad angle for this. Really bad angle for this. Can I get... No, this is just an awful angle to try and show off this card. How do I do this? Flip.
I guess.
Close up. That did not flip at all. Is this any better? Maybe a little. So you can get a bit of the hollow 3D effect there with the Severus foil. So there we go. And there's the flavor text. His eyes were black, like Hagrid's, but they had none of Hagrid's warmth. They were cold and empty and made you think of dark tunnels. So yeah, glad to have a Snape because he's a major character in the stories as well as being... I'm pretty sure this is a quite playable card because I've seen some deck lists online and Professor Snape does show up in the card lists, in the deck lists more often than a lot of other characters for your starting Witcher Wizards. So I think I'm pretty sure there's good reason for that. Anyway. In addition, I picked up Random Magic Single, which I just wanted to have an English one. And
we did put another order since we got this one too, because we wanted to fill in a few holes.
Yes, they had a few more cards from Harry Potter base set that we didn't open, aside from the Snape. So I think we ordered another 6 cards to help fill out some of the holes in the set. So,
and we'll do a video.
Yeah, when that arrives, we'll probably work it into whatever Harry Potter video we're doing around that time, because it's probably going to be a few more videos. We still have the deck video from Diagon Alley to do before we open the Hogwarts Adventures. Then we'll do a Hogwarts Adventures deck video and playing. And then I'm hoping to get a little bit of Chambers of Secrets. Probably not enough to build a whole deck with, but just enough to take a look at the set and talk about it a bit.
I forgot to give him his medicine all day. Might have given it to him this morning.
Well, that's not good.
Oh.
Poor Lucas is battling an infected toe, so yeah, trying to be regular with the medicine. This was day 3, was it?
I don't even know.
Mirror view was back when Barry took it out of the close-up view. Problem solved. Interesting. So yeah, then I had a few more Star Trek cards. I'll save this one for last because it ties into other things. I picked up a couple of cards. This is from Holodeck Adventures. That's the symbol over here, the little holodeck icon. And basically, this was for a card my brother was interested in because he has a character that downloads it. And that was a set that we never got any of. Barash's Illusions was another whole sort of theme. So I grabbed one of these while I was putting an order in for him as well. Also from Holodeck Adventures. For my Klingon deck, this is, I plan on doing eventually for Star Trek a deck where I rework and update my Klingon deck and my Romulan deck. And so for the Klingon deck, I got a copy of Worf, Son of Moog. This is from, obviously, Star Trek The Next Generation, from the, I think it was a 2-part arc in one of the early seasons where Worf temporarily went and joined, they didn't know it was temporary at the time, but he went and joined Gowron to deal with the rebellion against him. So he gives some bonuses to Gowron's ship if he's on it with Gowron. And he's got his similar skills, double security, leadership, honor ×2, etc. This is a white bordered, this wasn't from Premiere, this was actually a white bordered preview card from Dominion, which was the second set in the Deep Space Nine arc. They put 4 preview cards in it as white border ultra rares, basically, and then this one came out in Blaze of Glory. I think the actual rare for this one is. The other 3 promo cards they included in Dominion. One was James T. Kirk, which didn't come out until years later in Trouble for Tribbles. One was Admiral Riker from the future Enterprise sort of timeline, and that that one didn't show up until right at the end of the game, basically. They included it as a ultra rare foil in Reflections as well, and then they also released it in. Not yet. I'm getting there.
Sorry.
They also released it in. What was the name of it? All Good Things, sort of a package that they did to show off a bunch of cards that are loose ends that they never got finished, but were referenced on other cards and things. And the fourth, what was the fourth one? I'm forgetting it now. Was it the Defiant? No, the Defiant was earlier. It was in Blaze of Glory, but it had been previewed in Deep Space Nine. I'm drawing a blank on that. I should have looked that up beforehand. Anyway, it's not a big point, but I think Worf Son of Moog will be a nice addition to my Klingon deck, basically. And the price has come down quite a bit from back when the game was new. So there's those. The other one I picked up is a rather interesting one. And it sort of goes with the packs that I got here for Star Trek. We did box openings for 7 different sets. We opened booster box packs for Star Trek The Next Generation. 2 sets that we didn't open, and for very different reasons, by the way, were the 3rd and 4th sets. We opened a premiere, I think twice.
Once was because the kids opened the box or something? Or
no, that was
a different box.
We opened Alternate Universe as part of our 24-hour stream. We did that at night along with Rules of Acquisition.
Question, should we ever do that again?
24 hours stream, I kind of doubt it. And then we did Trouble with Tribbles and Mirror Mirror, which were the 2 sets that featured stuff from the original series. Rules of Acquisition was basically the only set we did that was directly Deep Space Nine. The Trouble with Tribbles and that also had Deep Space Nine characters in it. Yeah, it's Brenda Lee and Thomas. There they are. And then we jumped ahead to the Borg and Voyager. So we covered basically all the different series a little bit. But in terms of the order, we opened the first 2 sets, so Premiere and Alternate Universe. The 3rd set that came out was Q Continuum. And there's some interesting stuff in it. Some of the commons are very useful for deck building and still used in tournaments and all the rest. But the rares, there's not much there. There's no ultra rare. None of the rares are worth more than $1 as far as I know. So it's just a horrible... It's probably one of the worst sets for value proposition. There's really nothing... No big hits to open in the set. I think the most valuable card is an uncommon that's worth $2. The good tournament commons go for $1, and the rares go for $1 or less. Like it's
so if we open them.
So I didn't want to pay out $50 to open a whole box. So I just ordered 3 packs of Q Continuum to get a sampling of that set, basically. The 4th set, which was their transition, because up to that point it had all been Star Trek The Next Generation, and you can even see on the front of the packs, it was Star Trek The Next Generation customizable card game. Then they transitioned because they got their rights expanded. And the 4th set, Star Trek customizable card game, more general, was for First Contact, the film, which is still based around the movie... which is the movie that came out at the time they were promoting, but it was based around the Star Trek The Next Generation characters. But they also got rights to start developing sets for Deep Space Nine and some of the others eventually. I don't know if they all came at exactly the same time. But the next set, the 5th set that followed this, was the set for Deep Space Nine. And so I wanted to cover a bit of that transitional period. And this is one of my absolute favorite sets that they
I like the First Contact set.
Yes, the First Contact set is a lot of fun. I got 2 packs. These I didn't get a box of because of expense. It's getting hard to find. They're getting more expensive. But when I was playing, this was the set that I really started to get packs from. Previous to this, I played Star Trek CCG, but I basically built my deck out of the common bin, and I had 1 or 2 rares that I'd picked up in trades from people just trying to work out trades for Magic the Gathering or other games. They might have a main bridge crew character like a Dr. Crusher or something that I didn't have. That would throw it in to make things balance, and it would go into my decks. Stuff like that. But this set, the premiere and all the sets up to this point, had featured 3 factions. You had the Federation, the Klingons, the Romulans. This set broke that pattern, and you had the Federation and the Borg. So brand new faction, interesting one, the Borg, and all your favorites, bridge crew, in a small set, made it much easier to pull the characters. So that's one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite sets from Star Trek, customizable card game. The other is they also made a bunch of new cards and mechanics that really made it easier to streamline play. So you got cards like Assigned Mission Specialist. You got cards that were hidden agendas that you could flip if your opponent was doing shenanigans, canceling your cards or drawing extra cards or things like that. You would also get benefit from that, or they would get penalized, stuff like that. So it really helped smooth out gameplay a lot. In addition to being good for pulling main characters. So it was a fun set. And they released a year or two later enhanced packs, just like the one I showed here earlier for Star Wars CCG. This was an enhanced Cloud City pack. They released these also for Star Trek with First Contact packs. And you got 4 packs of this, along with 3 cards. Each one had a face card that was a Borg. Like in the Fajro collection, they did Locutus, which was a Federation counterpart. They made a Federation counterpart for all the other main factions at that time. So you got Gowron of Borg for the Klingons. You got Dukat of Borg for the Cardassians, Beryl of Borg for the Bajorans, because Deep Space Nine was out by then. And for the Romulans, I'm drawing a blank, but there was another Romulan commander who was Borgified as their counterpart. And they gave special abilities as well, and were generally somewhat playable for the Borg. I think I picked up 2 of those, plus some other packs at a time.
Yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine.
The Enterprise E required, I pulled one of those, and it has different staffing icons, so I was struggling to get enough of the new versions of the bridge crew, which were generally a little weaker on stats, but or skills, I should say. But that was something that, yeah. Okay, you're.
Sorry, I'm distracting you.
Yes. Anyway, so we got some Star Trek packs from sets 3 and 4 that were released in release order.
Take her to the bedroom, please.
What I was talking about leading up with the
I'm sorry.
what are they called? Yeah, enhanced packs. One of the cards that released in this was Add Distinctiveness. This is a rather unique card. Seeds or plays on... Actually, let's flip it. Makes it easier to read. I think that was what Founder said earlier. So, seed or plays on table. It's worth X points. X varies, where X is the number of skill icons on personnel you've assimilated as drones. Also, if you are behind by 40 points or more, once per game, you may open a sealed First Contact expansion pack. So you can go and grab one of these off the shelf if you're behind and open it in the middle of a game. I love doing stuff like that. Booster Tutor is one of my favorite Magic cards. Play or place in hand any or all non-seed cards in that pack. Non-Borg cards are assimilated or stolen as appropriate. Then place the others out of play. So depending on what you open in that pack, if there's a handy Borg drone, you could choose to put it right in play or put it in your hand. If there's other Federation personnel, you can just put them right in play and they're directly assimilated. And yeah, X varies, where X is the number of skill points on personnel you've assimilated. So if you open 3 or 4 Federation personnel and they've each got 3 or 4 skills on them, you can add 10, 12 points to your total, which is a nice little bonus there, aside from having the extra assimilated personnel to man your ships or do whatever with.
No, it's done.
So I picked up one of those because I didn't have. I'm not sure if I have one of these, but if I did, I couldn't find it. And
are you flipping the camera, or you?
Yeah, I'll flip this back.
Because I don't think they want to look at the wall.
No. So I picked up that to go with these, just because it'd be fun to pretend and see what we get in these, and if it was worth any points. But also, yeah, I didn't have one, and I was originally planning on opening or ordering more than 2, but like I say, they're a little bit pricier, and I was trying to keep my bill down. So maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
So yeah, I've been over those singles. The other game, the 5th game that I ordered some packs for, is another oldie from back in originally 1995. I don't think it lasted much longer than 96 or 97, this one. But it was quite popular for a time. I showed... did I do that video on this channel? I think so. An old scry where I went through the top collectible card games. Top 50 ranked by, the subscribers to Scry Magazine back in the year 2000. And this one just squeaked into the number 10th spot in the top 50. Was the limited edition Middle-earth card game. Now, the base set was the Wizards. And I've done a video where I talked a bit about that. I'll probably highlight a few things when we get back to this video, because this is sort of a preview again. For most of these are for videos for the future. But I did grab a couple of packs of the Dragons, which I believe was the first expansion that they came out with for this game, as well as a pack of the White Hand. Now, this one was a later expansion, and by this time, they had already done the Lidless Eye, and they were into sets based around the evil characters. So you could play as ring wraiths, or you could play as, forces of darkness, basically trying to get the ring, as well as your heroes. So, as I recall, the Dragons featured more stuff from The Hobbit, as well as Dragons of Middle-earth and things like that. So, ones that were referenced from the Lord of the Rings specifically, like Scatha and Smaug, I think are in there, as well as other ones that they had to dig a little deeper into the lore for. And then for the White Hand, you have corrupted versions of the different wizards. So you can get a corrupted Gandalf or a corrupted Radagast or whatever. So that'll be interesting. These are probably the cheaper 2 packs to find now from this set. Product's gotten scarce over the years. I did find some when I was playing closer to the time it was released, but this is a complicated game to actually learn how to play. So I've only really sat down and attempted to play with it, to play a game of this once back in high school, I think, and it was challenging. And that's coming from someone who's played a lot of different CCGs. It's got some really neat concepts, but there's just lots to keep track of, and the movement rules are interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go do another look at the Middle-earth collectible card game, so I figured it would be nice to have a couple packs for that as well. Plus, again, I'll probably keep one of the doubles as for a sealed collection, just because I'd like to flush out my little sealed collection over there from the stuff that I had from the Decipher products. So this can expand that by adding Versus System, Harry Potter, Middle-earth, and I've already got a Young Jedi pack in there, and we've already got Star Trek stuff. So those 3 games, anyway, that are not Decipher products, but come from that early period of the collectible card game time frame. So, yeah. So that's sort of my plans regarding some upcoming videos. Again, sort of an big anniversary year, 1995. A lot of stuff happening in collectible card games, both in Magic and Middle-earth, I think, came out around that time as well. The Star Wars CCG released that time. Star Trek actually predates that. That came out in 94. But we did a lot of that last year, so that's
What's your plan for Monday for Magic Night?
There is a plan for Monday, and you're putting me on the spot now, and I'm not thinking of it.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
What the hang was it?
Just tell me after.
As
long as I know before I set the stream up, that I know what I'm putting up.
Now you've got.
Sorry,
I did have a plan. Now I'm drawing a blank. Anyway.
We're not opening anything new.
I was gonna dig through the old decks that I did, similar to what we did with Tarkir Dragonstorm. The last set that I had opened a significant amount of before I took my 10-year hiatus was Return to Ravnica, I believe. Or is it?
I don't remember.
Was that there's been a couple of times where they've done sets that revisited the Ravnica location, so I might be getting the name mixed up with another one that's more recent. It's been a while, but
I just remember
I opened a bunch, so I want to take a look at what I've got for that collection, and I built 2 decks, and they've been sitting in a box for years. So I want to try and play them against each other and look at the cards that are in them and reminisce a little.
Wasn't that back when we could get like an older set of something like Stronghold or something like that and get like a whole booster box for cheaper?
No, that was
what they go for now.
Much later, because we were getting old. We were getting older boxes in our previous house, and this was stuff we collected while we were here.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I do like the First Contact set. As I recall, I did. Wow, interesting.
What? Good sticker.
There, you can see the glue on this pack here. That there had been a sticker price on this that has been removed.
Well, that's not the one to keep for the seal, is it?
I guess not. And then this one doesn't have that. So yeah, interesting.
So open the one that's got the sticker.
Probably. We had decent luck with opening the Magic Tales of Middle Earth pack that had a sticker on it. We pulled up Orcish Bowmaster from that one. It was nice. So yeah, ordered a few older things for a few games. There's a couple of other things that I'm planning or hoping to order for some other things that weren't at this particular store. Honestly, though, this is one of the better stores if you're looking for old card game products. This was from... why am I drawing that?
Category 1.
Category 1 games. Which is... honestly, they're one of the best sites for old singles. So if you're looking for singles for Star Trek or Star Wars or any of these games,
I didn't
versus System,
I'll try
Wizards,
to put the link.
Middle Earth,
in the description.
Young Jedi. They've got singles for all of these games.
We are not sponsored.
Unfortunately, they didn't have.
They're not sponsored.
They didn't have the Monty Python other set.
We just like them.
Yeah, I just like their stuff. So I've done orders with them every so often in the last couple of years. So
as Broly was asking earlier about our watch hours, we're really close to 4,000. And when we get there, I'm going to show you guys this any chance I get. We're going to open this.
Mm-hmm.
What, do you think we're going to get a big hit, or do you think it's going to be a complete disaster?
It's probably going to be a dud.
No. No. What?
Keep it sealed. Well, for value, that would be the best thing to do. But we did buy it with the intention of opening it over a year ago, and we just haven't gotten around to it.
We got it. It's Brindley.
We like to open stuff when we have a good reason to celebrate that's a little bit special, and we figured this would qualify. So
I saw that from watching the last stream. Yeah. No, I think I paid $225 or $240 something for it. So it's in our minds, it's not, too bad.
Yep, it's Mommy and Dad, Brindley.
Hi, Brindley. You say hi, everybody?
So yeah, we do like to open some fun stuff from extras. I was fishing around and found when we hit 3,000. Was it 3,000 hours or was it 2,000 subs?
2,000 subs, I think.
2,000 subs. We opened up one of these.
Well, both actually. We did it as
a double. So open up, and that was a lot of fun. We got some interesting things in there. No super huge hits, but we got 4 poster cards.
I opened 2 cases of them before and only got 1 Celebiel. You're a goof.
We didn't wash your face because we weren't planning on you.
No, we were not. It was better than this morning. She had a bit of a bloody nose and she wiped it all over her face. So she looked like
Yes.
she was the victor in a battle.
Everybody wants to hear about that.
Well, at least they don't see it.
I suppose.
But,
they can imagine if they so choose.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, doing a video.
Yeah. You should just be our music, our music entertainment. Thomas is gone. All right. You need to go to bed. Okay, go to bed. Then go lie down and restfully watch TV. Never a dull moment in our house.
No, not usually.
I went outside in the rain.
Fun.
I
Can
love
you-
rain.
Okay, can you just take your sister to the room and make sure she's got to show she likes while we just finish this up?
Yeah. So with all these packs sitting around, most of them are, like I said, I've got plans for other videos. So
Kiddos can fight their sleep. Yep.
yeah, I could do that for a day or two, but it starts to drag as the week drags on. That's for sure. What was I gonna say? Yeah.
Adults too. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm so exhausted. It's been an exhausting week.
Yeah. So yeah, I was looking through my little box of other old packs, and like I said, most of these I've got plans for. We're going to do videos in the future. Probably, well, some of them will be bigger videos than others. I've got, but
My Little Pony. No.
well, we've got some of that too. But I've got the Lord of the Rings Tower Draft Pack here, which if we're looking for something random to open, that could be fun.
Open. Broly says open.
So
He wants you to open it.
this is not a standard booster pack. The Tower Draft Packs were designed where you would get one of these along with a selection of 3 regular.
Yeah. Founder's asking about MetaZoo. No, we have not opened any of that.
That's
It did come back though. Somebody bought it and brought it back.
yeah, I've heard about that. That's not a game that I really know anything about.
It could be fun to check it out at some point just to see what it's like, but I don't know.
Yeah,
We'd have to kind of. I don't know. It might be worth checking out sometime. If you
could
guys
be.
want us to do that, then let us know.
yeah. So when the second film came out, they did a 2 towers set, and so you could
I'm
do
an enabler.
one
Open,
of these,
open.
one of these with 3 packs of 2 towers, or you could mix it up and do 2 towers and a Battle of Helm's Deep, which was an expansion for that movie block, or you could do 1 2 towers, 1 Helm's Deep, and 1 Ents of Fangorn. So those were the 3 sets in the 2 towers movie block, and this was designed to work with all of them
I just bought 5 boxes.
to enable a draft stuff. So
Nice, good deal, Founder.
that's nice. Yeah, 5 boxes of the draft packs here.
No, she's
specifically, or
talking about the
something with
MetaZoo.
Oh, MetaZoo. Sorry,
That still
Yeah.
sounds like a good deal.
it does. Although I don't know anything about MetaZoo, so I don't know for sure. But I know it has its fans for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah. In any case, so I figure we can wrap up with doing at least 1 pack to open, since I've been showing off all these other neat old packs.
I'll just close my eyes and grab a pack at random.
Yeah, well, let's not.
No? You don't want me to do that?
Like I said, I've got specific ideas for these other ones, so for the most part.
Let's see it. Broly's just like, get it open already.
Yeah. So again, most of these packs, usually you had, they were 11 card packs, I believe, for Lord of the Rings trading card game. This is a big fat 29 one, and it's specifically cards for drafting. So usually you had a faction or 2 for both heroes and villains to help you flush out your decks. And it was more of, actual characters, things like that, which you might be a little short on. These did include 1 rare each, but you couldn't get foils in them, unlike regular booster
At this point,
packs.
I'm desperate for anything to add to my non-existent collection.
Again, is this backwards, or should I flip it? And I should probably flip it.
Maybe we'll angle it a little bit too.
Sure.
So, oh, sorry.
Oops,
You're hopping. You guys are hopping with us.
And I did it again. I got it wrong.
There we go.
Just to make it a little easier to display and read. So we got an Easterling infantry. The 8 there, that's its strength in combat. 4 is roaming, so if you play this before Site 4, you have to pay extra to bring it out. 3 is the number of shadow to play this one, and the 2 is basically its health. While you can spot 3 burdens, this minion is fierce and damage +1. So damage +1 if it wins a skirmish, that's how many health it takes away from the enemy. So it gets an extra. And the fierce means if it survives the combat, it gets a second attack, basically. Then we've got a Desert Warrior. This is a Southron. The Southrons and the Easterlings were both part of the same faction in Two Towers, interestingly. And at the start of each skirmish involving this minion, you may remove 3 shadow to wound companion or ally he is skirmishing. The Haradrim wear cloaks and head wrappings to survive deserts, the deserts of their home world.
Did you ever try and teach me to play this game?
Sometimes called the Men of Rune, Easterlings hated Gondor for her riches, and Rune is down in the southern areas there. Or well, the
map.
I'm getting that mixed up. Yeah, the map on the wall, which we can't see now anyway. Actually, I'm getting that mixed up. The Rune is Easterlings, from the east. Desert Spearman. It is.
Oh, okay.
It's over there by the Lake of Rune. You can see.
There we go.
Anyway.
Yeah, I see it. Things we're talking about that they can't see.
Yeah, of course. Where are we? Southron at the start of each skirmish involving this minion. Can remove 3 to So that's they've got common themes and abilities. So the Southrons, similar stuff. Southron Bowman, Archer. Archery phase certainly can be helpful in resolving combats. It's this minion does not add to the, so instead of, if you don't use the ability, he just adds 1 to your archery total, which assigns wounds, but you can also exert this minion to target the wound, basically, where it goes, with the exception of the ring bearer. Then we've got some Urukai, the white hand orcs. So these are Sauron's orcs, particularly. The Sauron faction from Two Towers was one of the stronger factions. Damage +1 naturally, 2 wounds. The Urukai, bred by Sauron, are stronger and more fell than the orcs of Mordor. We've got a rear guard, a little bit more to deploy, higher strength and more endurance there to begin with. Damage +1, and a skirmish exert this minion at the battleground to make another Urukai strength +1, so we can buff your other Urukai. Honestly, for a draft pack, if you're actually doing a draft, getting Southron orcs in here is really good, because they were one of the stronger factions just for like the base fighters anyway. Again, they're almost all damage +1. Exert this minion at the battleground to make another Urukai strength +2. And we've got Urukai Patrol, damage +1 or damage +2 while you control a site.
Too bad there's not more people live closer, because it could be fun to just get together and play some of your old games.
It could be.
Teach somebody.
I mean, some of the games I'm still sort of learning myself, and I want to try and sit down and learn and actually play with people. And this is one that I've been learning about a lot in the past year, but I haven't actually sat down and played yet with anybody. So I've got ideas for building decks, and then I've got some precons, and that's about it. Stack this minion on a site you control in the regroup or shadow. If stacked on a site you control, play this minion, and its twilight cost is -1. So this one can sort of recur, I think, by the look of it. Uruk Stormer. Damage +1. So yeah, you can see you're basically just getting a bunch of Orcs and Southrons for your shadow side in your deck. Here's a Southron condition. So place your support area, shadow, play an Uruk-hai to place a white hand token on this card. And you can remove 3 white hand tokens from this card and discard an Uruk-hai to take control of a site. So, for cards that can care about how many sites you control. I never got into too much anime. I know you had one that you liked, the Fashugi Yugi thing.
Yeah.
For a time. This is a repeat, I think.
And then the kids got the discs and wrecked them. So.
Or it could be Sieger. Yeah, this is a repeat. And then we're into commons. We got some elves. We got a Lorien swordsman.
That was an interesting series, but it was trying to figure out how to watch the discs. The CDs or the DVDs, I mean.
Support fire.
In the right order.
Make an elf strength +3 or +2 or +3 if you spot 3 elf companions. So depending on how many elves you've got.
Because I got them.
Here's
in
Haldir.
I think it was Japanese, and they had subtitles because I preferred watching them in the original language. It was really neat. I know something to be said about watching something in the original language and just reading the subtitles. I don't know, it's just better. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually prefer subtitles on things that were originally not English myself, but it depends.
I'd rather it be subtitles than them dubbing over it in our language. You know what I mean? Because I feel like some of them get missed that way. I mean, stuff still does with the translation.
Again, this is the common version of Legolas, so the ability is not as strong as the rare, but it's still, playable.
What are you looking at, Isabel?
A lot of the main characters in the Fellowship block were only available as rares or uncommons. So it's still better than in Star Trek and Star Wars, those first games that came out. All the main characters were the rares. With this game, they made more at lower rarities. But by Two Towers, you definitely had common versions of the characters, which did make it a lot more interesting and easier to get something going for draft and the like. Elf Skirmish, Flashing Steel. I've been tempted to try to put together a Two Towers binder to go with the Fellowship one that I already had. I don't know. I've opened most of a booster box of this already, plus a few of these draft packs, so I do have a fair number of the rares, but I don't know. It's another big set, and it's... I don't know. Oh, here's our rare. Gandalf's Staff. Bearer must be Gandalf. Well, that narrows down its usefulness, because you need Gandalf. But while you can spot 2 Twilight tokens, Gandalf is damage +2, and it gives +1 vitality as well. Gandalf's Staff, this version is the walking stick. Staff in the hand of a wizard may be more than a prop for age. So, not the worst rare you could pull, but I think I might actually have this one already as well.
I love the Lord of the Rings series. I want to go.
This was a theme I had with Two Towers, I think, because there were several things that I got that were so-and-so's weapon or so-and-so's mount or whatever.
Okay.
And I never got the actual character. So this is sort of following that trend. But...
love it when they put movie shots in cards. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with these original Decipher games. The ones that they were all based with rights, and they did do some where they edited photos and stuff, or had shots taken from other materials or the groups that did the effects and things. But usually, most of the shots were movie shots for these games, both the or from the TV show for Star Trek. But yeah, most of the pictures on them were all drawn from the movies or
guys,
or shows themselves. That was one of the problems with Decipher, was that its games were, if they lost the rights, they couldn't make the game anymore.
Yeah.
So that was an issue that particular company had, but they did have a lot of creativity in their actual game design. So it's a stealth, discard, and unbound hobbit. Okay, so if he's about to get trounced, you
Make
can
sure your dad
discard him.
gets a couple pieces.
Because
of
if he
chicken.
gets killed, you can't play him again. But if you discard him, then you could play another version of him later. So that's interesting. So this one's got hobbit cards as well as some elf cards. Knocked on the head. Play a hobbit from your discard pile. Oh, here's Pippin. Usually the hobbits have much lower attack strength. You have to put a hobbit sword or something on them to get them up so they can actually fight.
Think of which...
But they've got more vitality, so you can use them for other things a bit easier.
It's hard to think of which hobbit is my favorite. Like, I mean, I love
Mary.
Sam, but like Mary and Pippin together are...
Oh, we got Éomer. That's random. One random card from the Rohirrim. And you can see he's got much higher strength. But there you go.
What is everyone's favorite, or who is everyone's favorite hobbit? You don't have to say Frodo because he's not my favorite. You can say Frodo.
A lot of people really like Sam, and I can see why.
I love Sam, but I also love Merry and Pippin.
Let's get this back.
Oh, our
not at the ceiling. Not at the ceiling. Ah. Chaos.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Well, that's not anything new really in this household.
Yeah. Well, not bad. I mean, for what it is, if you're looking for just members of the Fellowship and famous characters, we got a Legolas. We got Merry and Pippin. And we also got Éomer, who wasn't in the Fellowship, but was a fairly good character. We got Haldir, who's probably a less known character. So these little draft packs aren't bad. Like I said, it still comes with a rare, so I forget if I had that one or not, the Gandalf staff. But they're neat, and again, these are one of the cheaper and easier packs.
Can we just show the back of these cards again? Because I love the back. Like, look at the back of these cards. That just looks really cool.
Yeah, they were usually good at designing. Again, they started off with the Star Trek cards, pretty generic, just sort of the Star Trek logo, and again, based primarily initially around the.
Speaking of logos,
Star Trek
we
The Next
still
Generation.
have not come up with a T-shirt logo. We've Marshall's been trying to help us.
There's the back of the Harry Potter trading card game cards.
We've been having a hard time narrowing down exactly what we want for our T-shirt.
Yeah.
No, it's just gonna be for us. We're not we're not selling anything at this point. But
The the Star Trek, the Star Wars game, which again I plan on doing stuff with. Again, you had light side cards and dark side cards, and they've got different backs, which is what made deck building initially a little bit more challenging because you had to keep your dark cards the fronts were distinct enough that you could usually tell the difference. There were a few sort of undercover spies and stuff that looked like they were the other side, but having different backs, a lot of people thought that was one of the big flaws of the Star Wars ECG. It did do a lot of other good things for the time. It was one of the first games where your deck was sort of the resource that you had to deplete for the other player, and the way that it managed your sort of life force and thing. It was a lot of fun and creativity, and it worked. You had the destiny numbers as well for random draws without having to use coin flips or dice or things. It was all just with using your deck. So
we dropped down to one viewer.
Yeah, well, I guess we're wrapping up anyway, but
we're back.
You wanted to show this?
I don't know why. It's fine.
We did pick up a second round of this since Ezra
I don't know if
enjoyed
you guys
it so
saw
much,
the video the
and
other day.
Thomas and Isabel seemed interested too, at least in the first.
And
one,
we had somebody go and buy some after our video, so we were enablers.
Yeah, well, the whole card hobby thing is a bit massive enabling thing. But it is fun.
We still
and
have
it's
a
nice
bit
to
of
share.
the
So
Squishmallows cards that we have not opened yet.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
We should probably find somebody to go bug.
Probably, because I do need to get to bed. I still have 2 more shifts.
Open. We can't open those ones. They're for Ezra. Have you seen the movie yet? No. I'm not really.
I've heard some good things about it. I've heard some bad things about it. It's sort of mixed, but overall, it sounds like it's sort of fun. So
Yeah,
we'll probably
I don't know.
check it out at some point. We just haven't got there yet.
It's just Jack Black. I used to love him, but he's been doing some weird things lately. And
Well, everyone's
I don't
doing
know.
weird things these days.
well, that Christmas movie, I didn't. That made me mad. I don't know.
Just showing off my armpit for those of you.
Yes, hairy
that was-
armpits. How many hairs are there?
Not many.
So let's stick around and find somebody to go bug. Oh wait, is All Blue still
Can I
alive?
show this?
Yeah, you can. Isabel wants to show something. Can you hold it
gonna
back a
explain
little
what
bit?
it is?
Like it's a meme I made.
Uh,
My friend, when she realizes I looked in her locker.
Okay. It's interesting that now at school the assignments revolve around making memes.
I remember having to do a
That-
project where I had to draw a map, and then I had to learn what their local resources and like industries were, and their animal of the state and country or something like that. Because I remember when I was in school, I had to do a project on one U.S. state and then another country, and I chose Mexico and Maine for some reason. I don't know why I chose Maine, but I chose Maine.
I remember
Yes,
doing one on
it is
Scotland
from
and stuff.
it is from a Lego series that I like to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go and see if All Blue is live still, and we'll raid All Blue,
Oh, okay.
even if
Sounds
we
like
only have a
fun.
few people. So
Um,
it's been a while since I've been to one of All Blue's raid.
try to name the Lego Ninjago series that character is in.
Oh, you can give some
See, I
trivia.
thought Lego Ninjago was just the series itself, so I didn't know there were separate Ninjago series.
Let's
A
see.
little out of touch.
Oh,
Okay.
she whispered you the answer.
Yeah, not that particularly differentiates much for me, but
Where's All Blue? Is he still alive? Yes, he is. There we go.
yes, I gathered that was the series name.
We have one person. It says one. Who else is here? Is YouTube lying to us? I don't know.
Who knows?
YouTube,
But
don't
thanks for
lie.
coming out,
Just wait.
and yeah, I hope there's something in this video that we showed for our previews that will be something you can look forward to for the future. This is just sort of a different sort of stream today,
Ooh.
but it is what it is.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys on Monday with Magic the Gathering.
Sounds like fun.
So,
Hopefully.
yeah. Bye for now. Is it me that's watching myself?
Bye-bye.
I don't know.
Could be.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good
and we'll
night.
see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Say Spocat Raid when you go over to All Blue. Bye for now.
Bye.
Ciao, cheerio, ta-ta for now.